years working with helping veterans get over the barriers to employment. Work with a multitude of issues from disability, and everybody comes to us, they think we're one-stop shopping, they got a bunch of questions, I tend to answer them and point them in the right direction. If anyone lives in Pahrump, I'm now starting to do outreach out to Pahrump, because I live there. So if you know any veterans that live in Pahrump that need help with employment services and what have you, I'm going to be out there on Fridays, as now, till otherwise notified. And we're here because our boss told us to come here, so. What the hell is liquid death?
I have no idea. Water company.
Oh, okay, I keep looking at that, I'm like, is this something I want? With a cigar.
All right, thank you all so much. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Nevada Partners, to our Community Learning Center. I'm so excited to welcome everyone to the grand opening of our Las Vegas Veteran Entrepreneur Library. I have to give a huge thank you to our partners that have made this possible, including the builders of this actual library, AulTru Care and Los Vaqueros. They helped fund this. Also, to Vets in Tech that brought this concept to us, Global Entrepreneurship Network and the Governor's Office of Economic Development for supporting all of our entrepreneurial efforts here. I want to highlight that this space that we're in is the Westside Community Incubator. It's a free co-working space for entrepreneurs. We really set out to create a space that entrepreneurs can find resources, and we're excited to add to that veterans resources so that we can become advocates for veterans in our community and help veterans get access to resources, including entrepreneurial resources, and get access to advocates to support them with the VA. As you know, that can be a very tough situation for many. And so I know we're a little bit behind, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with our introductions of our great sponsors and presenters today, starting off with Lizette Collins, Nevada Partners President and CEO. Her work really makes all of this possible, and so let's give her a round of applause. Lizette.
Well, good morning and welcome to Nevada Partners. I would like to thank everyone for being here today to join us in the opening of the Entrepreneurship Library. It always is overwhelming to see the amount of support that we have to just encourage and bring new programs and resources to our community. We continue to receive an abundance of support and commitment to the entrepreneurship community, and we are immensely grateful for to just really be a resource here. Nevada Partners was established in 1992 as a workforce development and youth development organization. Since then, we've evolved to provide down payment assistance programs, rental assistance program, rapid rehousing services, basic needs services, and in most recent efforts, the Entrepreneurship Initiative. In addition to that, we also provide STEM programming to youth and adults and career exploration and career pathway programs. Through the Veterans Library, we bring hope and collaboration to veterans. When we opened the Community Learning Center, we initially were going to actually have this space be a veterans call center. We weren't able to do so because we weren't able to get employers that were willing to commit to hire our individuals upon completion of training, which is very disheartening to the organization. But fast forwarding to today, we now have a business incubator that allows for us to cultivate businesses, and now we're bringing a resource of entrepreneurship into our community. So thank you for that. Thank you for all the partners that made this happen today, and to a special thank you to Elias. I know you don't like to be shouted out, but I have to acknowledge just the commitment that you bring as our entrepreneur in residence, and just truly thankful for the ongoing commitment and support to every one of you. Thank you.
All right, Lizette, thank you so much. Next up, I want to introduce Dave Berlin. Dave wears a ton of hats. I met him back at WeWork 5 years ago, and we just had so much in common in terms of our journeys to Las Vegas, but also our passion for supporting entrepreneurs. Dave is a veteran. He's done so much for the veteran community, including spearheading Freedom Week and the concept for the Veteran Entrepreneurship Library. I'll let you take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. Also, a big shout out to Elias. Best advice I was given was always have a 5-minute, a 15-minute, and a 50-minute keynote. So I hope you guys are ready. This 50 minutes is going to be awesome. Just kidding. This is, as a Marine Corps veteran, I have been working in the space of helping veterans as they've exited the military into the civilian space. I've been helping unofficially for the last 20 years, but very much in the official capacity in the last 14 or 15. This year I celebrate 10 years when I decided to take that mission to a bigger stage, and it was actually my first public talk ever. I did a TEDx talk about veteran transition, and it's been really fascinating to see the conversation evolve and change. Along that journey, I read a lot of books, like a lot of books. And there's been some books that have changed my life, and many of those books I've recommended to other people. But as I look at the thread of my transition or expansion from service to civilian life, I've done a lot of different jobs. But the one thing that's always been there has been books. And for this launch today, I can truly say that of all the things that I've done, and it has been a lot of things where I've volunteered, I've been part of different organizations, I can honestly say that this is probably one of the most impactful contributions that I've been a part of. This isn't me. A lot of these books here on the shelf are mine, but over 200 of them that have just been donated in the last week are not. These are coming from people from the community who genuinely care, and it's not just they care about veterans, they care about growing. And everybody here, you're part of that mission. My mission has always been to connect the people of our city so together we can show the world who we really are, and we're all doing it right now. It's funny, I have a little bit of knowledge about, I have an interview tomorrow, and I probably shouldn't be talking about this, I'm just gonna do it. It's an interview for a really prominent leadership organization here in Las Vegas, and I kind of know one of the questions, but I'm gonna answer it because they say, how do you make Las Vegas home? And to me, home, they say home is where the heart is, right? Or home is where you hang your hat. Well, home is where I keep my books. And I think that I'm gonna keep my books here in Las Vegas for a very, very long time. And I encourage everyone to be a part of this mission because these are the books that can change somebody's life, right? So if there's a book that you've read that has made an impact for you, I challenge you to buy a copy of it, donate your favorite copy. I promise they're gonna be in good hands. And if somebody steals a book, then there's something about that person that made them steal that book. There's something, and I love this library because these titles, you can just read it and know, I need that in my life right now. So the whole idea for this really came from one book. Where is it? This book right here is one of the most impactful authors of my life, John Acuff Dover. And it's all about transition. It's all about sometimes you quit a job, sometimes you leap out of your job, sometimes you voluntarily leave an organization because it's just not right for you anymore. But there's a lot of different challenges and a lot of different opportunities that you can have in all those transitions. And I remember John Acuff is a friend of mine, and when I read the advanced copy of it, I said, this book is gonna change the life for veterans. And he said, I didn't write it for veterans. And I said, I know. He goes, well, if you think it is, write a blog about it and I'll put it on my blog. And I got to do that. And I never would have known that I sent that book to a stranger who I'd never met, who's also a veteran. And that one book helped him in his transition. He called me a year later and he was the executive director for a big program down in Houston, Texas. Later, that book would be the first book in the post-traumatic growth library for Impact a Hero in Houston, Texas. A bookshelf much bigger than this, and now we've got to compete with them, right? And that would turn into a whole program, a coaching program for veterans all across Southern Texas to impact their lives. I got this cool belt buckle as inventing it. Cool. So we got to get some belt buckles, right? But it really starts with this here today, and I'm so honored and so grateful for all of you to be a part of this, because everything that you're all doing in your own individual fights for post-traumatic stress, post-traumatic growth is making a difference. Now this gives us an opportunity to connect, to collaborate, and to celebrate, because we don't have to change the world on our own, but together we can change the way that the world looks at Las Vegas, and we can make a dent here in the community. Thank you.
All right, That was really great, Dave. Our next speaker was Chris Rebecca. She had to run out for another event with none other than POTUS, so we'll forgive her for that. President of the United States. Chris Rebecca, I just want to give her a shout out because she represents the Veterans Advocacy Council and is one of the nonprofit organizations that will be headquartered out of this incubator room. So in the future, you can come into this space and meet with her organization to learn more about how they advocate for veterans, and we'll be working together to support veteran entrepreneurs out of this room. Next up, I want to bring up our sponsor from AulTru Care, Brad Johnson, who's one of the co-owners to AulTru Care. His imprint in Las Vegas is profound and definitely seen in one of his previous roles. He was part of Downtown Project, and he's helped put together all of those really cool places like Container Park and Gold Spike and the Ferguson's over in downtown. And he's done so much development over there. And so when I told him about the development work we're bringing to the West Side and all of our efforts to redevelop the West Side, he wanted to get involved, and this was the beginning of getting involved. And so let's give a warm welcome to Brad Johnson from AulTru Care.
Hello everyone, and thank you, Elias, and to the other partners as well. Thank you for inviting us to be a part of this. As Elias mentioned, I've been here since '06, done a lot downtown, excited to be a part of this new West Side redevelopment or improvement plan you have going on here. I think we all know, at least several of you that I met today, entrepreneurship isn't always easy. And having this kind of resource where you can come into this room and not only the library, but also the co-working space and the other entrepreneurs in this room, it's really an incredible thing to witness. I've been here a few times myself, and I got to meet some of the great people in the room. My children made some comic books last time they were here. It was fantastic. Cool. So I want to tell you a little bit about AulTru Care and the fact that our dedication to veterans of the community. We are a community partner of the VA. We do provide home care services for veterans. So you can reach out to us anytime to find out more about receiving those benefits if you have a veteran that might need some care. We do regular daily visits to help folks with activities of daily living. We also are partners with a full skilled healthcare company. Our leadership team involves our director of nursing, who is a Navy veteran, our medical director, who's an Air Force veteran. My family and my business partner's family are veteran families. We very much care about the veteran space and are happy to be able to donate this library and the build out along with our partner Los Vaqueros, who's a nonprofit here in town helping the community as well. Elias and I have known each other for many years. I'm really proud of you, man. I love the work you're doing, and thank you.
All right, that's great. And so I want to share some remarks before we bring up the next guest. I want to share that the purpose of this Veteran Entrepreneurship Library, as you can see, this sets the stage for us. And so one of the projects that we have here is the UNLV Tourism Business Igniter, which is a project geared towards helping entrepreneurs win in tourism. And that's a program we've been running over here for over a year, and we want to invite you to participate in that. But more specifically, as part of this UNLV partnership, we get to work with the amazing Clay T. White, who's the Director of Oral Research over at UNLV. She spent over 20 years documenting the stories of Las Vegas, specifically of Black history in Las Vegas. And I was having a conversation with her, and we were talking about veterans and the stories of veterans, and we realized that minority veterans and women veterans are not talked about as much. And they made a huge impact here in Southern Nevada. And so part of setting up this Veteran Entrepreneurship Library is that we're actually on a journey to document the stories of veterans who made a positive impact here in Southern Nevada. We are conducting interviews so that those interviews can be shared with the UNLV Library as an official part of that collection, and it will also be shared as a podcast, and our youth, our digital marketing youth group here will be producing that into a mini documentary, which will be focused on the veterans' impact here in Southern Nevada. And so if you saw right by the bagels, we got a bunch of flyers, and there's a QR code. If you know a veteran that we should spotlight, please nominate them or send me their information. We are going to be committing to this. This is really just the beginning. This isn't a flash in the pan moment. This is the beginning of a renewed commitment by Nevada Partners to serve the community, specifically the veteran community, and we'll be conducting these interviews throughout the rest of the year. And so I see so many veterans in this group that I would love to learn about your stories and spotlight those stories with UNLV Libraries. And I'm sure there's many others throughout the Valley that we should bring into this community. So please make sure you go to library.nvpartners.org or just come back to the building and you can find myself and the other staff here, and we'll be more than happy to help you get that going. So next up, I want to bring up a representative from Senator Masto's office. Senator Masto has been incredibly supportive of all of the programming. It was actually her legislation that brought the Tourism Business Igniter here. And my apologies, I mean Senator Rosen's office, who's also been incredibly supportive. But I'll let you, Eric, why don't you come up here and you can tell us a little bit about the work that you've been up to.
Thank you for having me here. Hi everyone, my name is Eric and I'm here on behalf of Senator Jackie Rosen's office. The main thing I want to say is she sits on the Small Business and Entrepreneurship Committee. She sits on the Armed Forces Committee, and she sits on she's the chair of the subcommittee on travel and tourism. So all of the great initiatives that you guys are doing here, that's important to Las Vegas, and sits at the epicenter. So all of that great work is very important. So when I found out about this event, and I've known Elias since college, back in, it's been a long time, back in the day, and I've always seen the growth that you've done and the work that we've done for the community. So I appreciate you posting this and having us here. The main reason, like I said earlier when I was introducing myself, I want to be here to really share that this momentous occasion with everyone, because what is happening here, especially on this side of town, is what is needed for our veterans, especially for our community partners. A lot of things that happen in our community are on the other sides of town, but a lot of things here, I believe it needs to be highlighted more. So because of that, I wanted to really celebrate this by presenting congressional certificates of recognition to honor this grand opening of the amazing library. Because books, it really represents not just a book, but the knowledge that's instilled in there. Those are each represent years and years of experience from each author. And so what it brings, it's a way of you, instead of sitting down and interviewing a whole bunch of people, you can really sit down and learn about them through a book. So it brings that knowledge that's going to help you and catapult you to the next level. So with that being said, I want to really just have the Veterans Entrepreneurship Library at the Nevada Partners. Can I have you come over, Lisa? And then Elias, Brad, Vets and Tech, let's see. I have quite a few, because it really takes a village, right? It's not just a win for you guys, but it's a win for the whole community. So it really takes a village, so I want to make sure. AulTru Care, can you also come over here? Come here, let's see. And really, thank you guys for all the work that you guys are doing for veterans into Southern Nevada, and I wish you continued success. Let me go ahead and Veterans Entrepreneurship. Global Entrepreneurship Network. All right, guys. Well, with that being said, thank you so much. Congratulations, guys, on this momentous achievement. I'm proud of you guys, and I look forward to seeing you. Thank you, guys. I don't know.
That easy.
Yeah, four. Awesome. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right. For final remarks, I want to recognize a special guest who joined us this morning, Assemblywoman Claire Thomas, who is also a veteran here in our community. Assemblywoman Thomas, if you could please come on up and you could share with us some of the work that you're doing. We really greatly appreciate your involvement in our community, representing us and fighting the good fight over at the Nevada Legislature.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am blessed this morning to be able to come here and see this. This is just awesome, because one thing that I am an advocate for is education. And that is my platform. I will die on my sword on that platform. And a lot of it has to do with teaching our young people, because they are the next people in this room. And if we do not cultivate them, if we do not educate them, we will be a sad state. And it all has to do with earning the respect of the people that have served. And I count myself in there because it was something to behold, to, I tell my kids, when, they are feeling, well, I don't feel like going to school today. I said, you know what, I couldn't say that when I was in the military. There was no such thing as I don't feel good like showing up for work today. So, I think that, when we instill things like leadership, when we instill things like honor, loyalty, respect into our community, veterans in this room and all over the entire state of Nevada have served our community without blinking. And I think that it's really important when we can give back to the community. So I thank you, and I thank all the ones that came up with this. This is awesome, I know when I retired back in, I think it was 96, when I retired, I was standing in my living room, and I said, Lord, what do I do now? There was no kind of outreach, but I knew I wanted to, exit stage left.
Right.
And it was something that, when I joined the military, it was see the world. I saw Sonderstrom, Greenland, 3.5 months. That was my world. I didn't get a chance to go to the Philippines or Korea or any of those great places that, Germany, right now I have some regrets about that. But my first duty station was in Little Rock, Arkansas. I was in the Titan missile realm of life, SAC. And they informed me that we don't have missiles in Europe. So I had to relegate to Little Rock. So then I decided that I wanted to become an air traffic controller. And I was blessed to be stationed at Nellis Air Force Base for 16 years. My ex-husband and I were stationed there. He was up in this Never Never land. If I tell you, gotta kill you, you can send that to me. So I don't know what he did. I don't care to know because, I had one of those jobs also in Arkansas. So he never asked me and I never asked him. So, but just to know that I was able to serve as an assemblywoman in 2 terms in the state legislature, where we discussed a lot of things that affected our veteran community. And I must tell you that as a Democrat, it was both sides, Republicans also. We are together when it concerns our veteran community. And I am proud to say that we passed a lot of bills. And, now that I will not be up there this time, we never know what the Lord has plans for us. But a lot of our legislators are coming and asking, what bills can we promote for our veteran community? So I have a couple of ideas that people have shared with me, and we will continue to work for the community because that's what we do. And I will continue to work for our children because that's what I do. I have some grandkids that I'm really concerned about. And we want to make sure that they're educated. And I thank you so much for allowing me to speak here. And please continue not only your entrepreneurship, but continue to work in the community, because we need you. I need you. I need you to be behind us, because it's really important for us to act as one. Because when we act as one, we get a lot of things done. And our democracy, is being challenged right now. And we have to protect our democracy. And I'm counting on you, because that's what you did when you were in the military. You protected our democracy. So keep it up. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right, folks, that was incredible. Again, thank you so much to our sponsors and our partners. Oh, yeah.
I need a photo.
That's right. Yes, we have such a full house. It's so beautiful to see the community come and turn out. So that's all we have for remarks for today. But what I want to do is I want to invite y'all to come check out this beautiful library, look at some books, see what speaks to you, and network, meet amongst each other. There's so many amazing voices, amazing community workers in here. While you are checking out the library and networking, we're going to pour out some apple juice so that we can do a good old Vegas celebration. Does that sound good with everyone? All right. All right. Thank you all so much for coming out today.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. This is cool. I couldn't get that one lady.